Hey everyone, it's Tom here, and today is April 10th, and we just got the stats in for March. And interesting enough, I've got a lot of questions that people have been asking me, as you know, the market or the price of real estate has gone down by roughly 20% from its peak of February of 2022. And the question is, have we hit a bottom? And more importantly, is it a good time to buy, or is there further price decrease pressure? So we're going to explore a little bit about that today through some case studies. Before I get into that, let's kind of review what's transpired since last year. I'm just going to switch my screen. So this here is a chart that depicts the average price for a home in the Greater Toronto Area. So you'll see here that we hit a peak price here in February of 2022 of 1.3 million, which is really fueled by a lot of demand and cheap money. If you remember, interest rates were at historic lows. However, due to inflation concerns, we had 8 interest rate hikes, and that caused affordability issues and prices to decline, as I mentioned, about 20%. But you'll see here that this big green circle, you'll see kind of like a pattern of what we call basing, where it looks like we've got some support here as far as what the prices are doing. And interesting enough, we've actually had about 3 interest rate hikes during that time period. The question is, why hasn't that had an effect on pricing? And the answer is we have extremely low inventory at the moment, okay? So again, is this really the bottom, or is there further price decreases? Let's kind of explore some case studies comparing two like properties within this time frame. So our first kind of case study is here in the area of Meadowvale. So this is in Northwest Mississauga, and we've got 2 properties here that I want to kind of compare. Both of them are detached, they're 3 bedrooms, they're kind of an entry-level sort of starter property. And you'll see here, this is our first one. So this is on Cordingley. So it's, like I mentioned, detached, 3 bedrooms, needed a ton of work, okay? Let me kind of show you what it looked like inside, just to give you an idea. This would be like a flip property, or someone that wants to move in and do the work themselves. And just to kind of give you an idea, you can see kind of the older cabinets and the fact that it's dated. It's dated at the end of the day. And this one was listed for $849. It sold for $820. This was in December of 2022. Okay, so keep this property in mind. Meanwhile, then we have this one on Treviso. This is, again, detached, 3 bedrooms, needs a ton of work. It was just listed here in March for $799, and it sold for $951. Okay, it had over 15 offers on it. So kind of give you an idea of what it looked like inside. It was quite dated. It needed a lot of work and so forth. You can see that it needs a ton of work. Again, ideal for like a flip property or someone that wants to move in and do the work themselves. But look at that difference. $820 for a similar property in December, now $951. $130,000 difference, okay? So that's kind of interesting. Let's look at another case study. We're going to go now to the area of Oakville. This is Glen Abbey. This is a very nice area, fantastic schools. I'm going to compare kind of 2 like properties here and give you an idea of what's happened just recently. So this is on Rushbrook. This is a detached, 4 bedrooms, approximately 2,500 square feet. It was listed for $1.8 million. It went for $1,880,000. Okay, and that was in February. Okay, again, February of 2023. And again, just to give you an idea of what it was. Fairly nice property. You can move in right away. Okay. In contrast, now let's fast forward now to just recently in April. Similar property, similar neighborhood. Again, I'm going to go back to the map. Look how kind of close these are. Number 1 and number 2. All right, stone's throw away. And this one here, 4 bedrooms, again, 2,500 square feet, give or take, listed for 1.9. It had over 22 offers, okay? I'll repeat that, 22 offers. It sold for $2,170,000. So that is $270,000 above the asking price. Again, similar home in a lot of respects. Maybe a little bit more upgraded, I would argue, but still a substantial difference in a matter of 2 months. Okay, so kind of recap again, that this was sold for $2,170,000. Meanwhile, similar property in February for $1,880,000. Okay, big difference. Now, so then we kind of move into these two properties. They are not similar in any respects, but I just want to give you kind of an idea of the demand that we are seeing for certain properties. And this one here is on Sunflower in Mississauga. It was underpriced at $800,000. It sold for $1,021,000. It had over 15 offers. Okay, in fact, I was one of the people that bid on this and didn't get it. But again, needed a ton of work. And quite frankly, it smelled like cat pee inside. It was not an attractive property by any means, but had a lot of potential, especially for an investor. But look at those carpets. Dated, spacious, a lot of bright windows, but still, you got to pour in here at least 6 figures, right? So again, $799, sold for $1,021,000. This was just last week, again, April of 2023. This is now another property on Wedgwood. Wedgwood is in the southeast corner of Oakville. This is more or less a builder's lot, I would say. So really, the land value is what we're looking at here. Listed at 1.5, 5 offers on the table, sold for $1,750,000. Okay, a builder's lot. People don't even care about the house. They just want the land to build on it. And it was an estate sale. So really, the house didn't really matter so much as the land did. Some family's going to probably build on it a quite a large home, a custom-built home. Are there interior photos here? Okay. You can see how they're marketing it accordingly, right? It's really a builder's lot. So again, 1.5 asking, 1,750,000 sold price. Okay. So I always like to use real life examples just to share with people what's been happening. And honestly, people ask me, hey, did we hit a bottom? I would argue that we may have even hit a bottom back in, let's say, the winter. So that would be like January or December. And now things are starting to pick up because really the Bank of Canada paused interest rates in March, and we're starting to see renewed confidence in the market and increased demand in property. So if you're one of those people that are thinking about making a move, I would say act sooner rather than later. The only caveat to that is if the Bank of Canada were to make a surprise dramatic increase, and I use the word dramatic, like 1%, that would put some downward pricing pressure. So if you have any questions about the market, feel free to call me at 905-568-2121.